He's absent because he.
I'm sorry.
lives here.
Sorry. I apologize. Fernando Mercado, yes.
Present.
Thank you.
Sorry about that.
Good start to the meeting.
Jose Jimenez, present. Leticia Garcia
I'm here.
and Lupe Hilpas.
Yes, here.
And I'm here also.
Thank you. Thank you, trustee Ocampo. We're going to move on. We're on opening items C, the Pledge of Allegiance, and we have two of our John E. Steinbeck School students, Sofia Vargas. Can we hold till they come and lead us, please? I'm sorry, if they can come up here. Sofia Vargas and Mia Hernandez. Thank you.
Everybody, we may ask you to place your right hand over your heart. Ready? Salute.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
You may now all be seated.
Thank you. Thank you, Mia. Thank you, Sophia. Thank you very much. We'll continue on opening items under D, spotlights. Do we have any spotlights?
There are no spotlights.
I have one.
Yes.
Okay. Congratulations to an excellent back to school night last Tuesday, the 15th and the Wednesday 16th, especially to Cesar Chavez Elementary School Principal, Mrs. Veronica Medina, and Dalisal Community School Principal, Mrs. Maria Lepe. Thank you to their teachers and staff who made this event a great success. To all the parents who attended, thank you, and please continue to attend your schools when these events take place. At this time, I would like to request to Mr. Conning the possibility to change the schedule of back to the school night and graduation date in the future, because it's important for us board members to be present at all of our schools. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And those comments are not part of Spotlight. Spotlight is that, but we can make that request to
Okay.
Mr. Koenig. Thank you.
Okay,
Just that's a point of clarification. Okay, thank you,
no problem.
Mr. Jimenez. Thank you very much. We're going to move on to 1E, please, adoption of the agenda. And this is an action item. I need a motion, please.
I'll make a motion to adopt the agenda.
Was that you?
Yes.
Oh, thank
it's
you.
Me and my deep voice with that
Miss-
sore throat I have. Sorry.
Ms. Garcia, and then Mr.
Second.
Jimenez.
Yeah.
Thank you. Are there any questions, comments, concerns by any of the trustees? No? Okay, thank you. I'll call for the vote. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? No, thank you so much. Now we'll go on to item number 2, presentation. Our first one is LaSalle Union School District Social Media Public Information Officer, Claudia Melendez.
Good afternoon, trustees, board president, Mr. Koenig. Thank you so much for the opportunity. My name is Claudia Melendez. I'm the public information officer. This is my 5th year in the district, and this is the first time I have the opportunity to present. So I'm very excited, and I'm very grateful for the opportunity. So I'm going to talk about what we do as far as communications and the social media. It's an integral part of the communications in the district. What guides the little communications department, as I call it, is the goals, the board goals, the parent and community involvement, communication, and goal 4 of the LCAP to increase the engagement of all our partners. And we do that with 3 distinct functions, which is gather information. You go take photos and you interview people, you attend meetings, you just, gather. And then the second very important part of this is to process the information. If you take, if I take 500 photos, we only publish 50 photos. If sometimes there's video involved, we put out press releases. So that's the processing of all this information. And then there's the delivering aspect of it. So we put it on the website, or we publish it on social media. We write newsletters, or we send all calls. But we use different channels to have this information arrive into people's devices, or they can be on their website. I wanted to put this list of by the numbers of the actual metrics of what it's been accomplished in the last 5 years. I don't want to list them all because I only have 15 minutes and I really want to be very strict about that. But I will point to you that press releases is 20, it's been 25 in the last 2 years. Most of them generate a good amount of media interest, but I've also noticed that the news media is very interested in our social media. So if they see a post on Facebook, they'll be probably has the same effect as having written a press release. So sometimes it's more effective just to have a post on Facebook. And mainstream news articles, we have, I have recorded 188 news articles in mainstream media ever since I got here in 2018. This is TV, radio, newspapers, an average of one article or one news report a week for the last 5 years. Sometimes, of course, doesn't quite work out that way, because if we have a grand ribbon cutting, then we have all the media there, which is 4 articles in 1 week. But I just wanted to kind of show, so it's an article or a news media item per week during the school year, the last 5 years, which I think is a very remarkable feat, given the fact that news media right now is very decimated. There are not too many reporters. The Salinas Californian does not have a local reporter anymore. So, so having the media here on a regular basis I consider that a very good thing for our district. We have 4 media channels. There's more out there, of course, but we only use 4 because there's limited time in the day, and the team is very small. We have Facebook was established in 2016 by my predecessor. He had, when I arrived here, 688 followers. Right now we have upwards of 4,600 followers. The breakdown is 80% of them are women, 20% are men. We can have a lot of breakdown of how Facebook audience works. This is just kind of like a basic, just an overview for you. And for the last 18 months, starting in January 2022, ending in July 31st, we've had almost 190,000 impressions. That means that one person can, the pages on the ALASAL have been seen almost 190,000 times. It can be that one person sees it 2 times, but it still is a lot of people just looking at all the content that is produced in the Facebook on a regular basis. And I apologize, but we notified the technology department kind of late that we're doing this, so I'm not gonna be able to switch back and forth between our social media and the slide. But I know that I see you very frequently on Facebook, on Twitter. I know you're active participants in our social media, and I thank you for that. We have a lot of impact, as I mentioned. For instance, I want to point your attention to these posts here. We were distributing free strawberries at the ALASAL Family Resource Center. And once it was posted, it was shared 75 times. That is a huge number of shares for a school district. It reached it had 43,000 impressions. I also want to point to you that the videos are, whenever we have videos on our Facebook page, and is usually the kids dancing or teachers in the classroom, there is usually a very high level of engagement as well. The next one is text. Images are also very attractive, and when we share links, there's also quite a bit of traffic there. We use Facebook to promote. Basically, we're guided by 4 main goals to build our narrative. The narrative in this district in the last, I don't know, previous 10 years, there was a lot of conflict, unfortunately, but, and the community itself, when there was a high crime in the area, there's still somewhat the perception that this is an area full of trouble. And to me, the most important thing is to build a narrative of positivity, of, this is an area where we're dedicating to educate our children, to educate the future. And for that, we are constantly engaging in the professional development for our teachers. So we have quite a bit of posts about that. We also use it to give a kudos to our personnel, like the National Assistant Principals Week. Fortunately, there's a lot of celebrations throughout the year that can be promoting this kind of positive stuff, like the National Nutrition Worker Week, the Bus Driver Week, et cetera, and we try to promote those in order for our personnel to also feel like, oh, this is my week, this is a week to celebrate. We also promote our events. There's a lot of events at the Family Resource Centers. And ultimately, this is to build community, so people feel part of Alisal and its mission to build a better future for everyone. Twitter has a slightly different audience. It was established also in 2016 by my predecessor. It right now it has 1,100 followers. The impressions are not as high as the ones on Facebook, or that's right, it's ex-Twitter. It's hard to tell how to call it now. And we have about 8,700 impressions a month, not as large as Facebook, and that's because the audience is very different. The audience in Twitter is mostly educational professionals, teachers, administrators, and so they do share the content, but it's not the parents excited about seeing their kids or the teachers seeing themselves. This is more to share professional tips and whatnot. So. And we also have similar types of posts there. We have whenever, like if we have the Dairy Council coming to visit Fremont, we have a few pictures of the kids. And also we do quite a bit of retweets of events or other events, or for instance, the Alisal Educational Technology Department has their own Twitter page. And so we retweet a lot of what they post on that platform. Instagram, we established Instagram in 2020 during the pandemic. It quickly built to 900, almost 1,000 followers. The demographics are similar. We have almost 80% women, almost 20% men. And it's also been seen the last 18 months by around 34,000 people, which is also quite a bit of an increase from the previous time. And that's social media, they tend to increase little by little. We also promote similar things. Instagram is very good for reels, for videos. We have quite a number of videos there. We also promote the events or the school calendar, if we have breaks and whatnot. And the most popular always post in any media by far, in any of the social media, is picture of our kids either playing soccer or dancing folklorico or doing their drum line. Those are the most popular posts, and they also promote our school district as a place where kids are engaged, where kids are doing, especially the drum line is so popular. People want to see the videos. Whenever I don't post videos, they go like, "Do you have the video?" So I know that that's a very popular feature of our district. YouTube also has very few followers, but it was just established in 2020. There was an account that was established earlier, but I couldn't get the credentials for that one, so I opened up a new one in 2020. And in 2023, it has 190 followers. And most of what we use it for is for our YouTube, for our board meetings, GLAC meetings. And we do have some highly produced videos there. When I first got to the district, there was a very highly produced video about the district being a leader in the community, the Courageous Leadership video, and that one lives there. It has seen quite a bit of views there. Ms. Anso was one of the speakers in that video. It has a lot of views there. Again, the YouTube is very popular for videos for our kids. This was a video of our kids performing at one of the Alisal Family Resource Centers resource fairs. And it's seen a total of 7,000 times. It's very, very popular video. The newsletter, we've published a newsletter since October 5th, 2020. That was when the pandemic was at its height. And it was something that had been commissioned to me since I got here, but Mr. Koenig kind of really pushed for that. We've had more than 61 editions to date. At the beginning, we published once a week, but now it's twice a month because of resources, right? So, but it's also very popular. If you see here in these statistics panel, it almost 1,200 times gets seen per issue. So it is the entire district, which all the personnel who clicks on it sees it. And I know it's very popular too, because people tell me we really love the newsletter. Social media is a place where people really come to cheer each other on. Thank you so much, doing great. We love you, we appreciate you. Thank you for doing this. I just want to tell you briefly that one other things that I've been doing in the district is my /grant writer, my title, and we were able to get a $600,000 grant for special education. Almost 174,000 of that was given on financial aid and scholarships. $1.5 million for the construction of Buckhorn, $200,000 for community schools, and most recently $3 million to improve our delivery of mental health services to our kids. And I want to end on that because, well, let me just tell you, we're going to be engaged in creating a new website because the contract with the current website is about to end. And that would also mean exploring a new all-call system. We want to get a recording studio for Mr. Koenig so he can record really nice messages out there for the community. And then also to streamline our process to communicate with, better coordinate communication with schools. And if you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer.
Thank you, Ms. Melendez. I'm going to start here with Mr. Mercado.
Thank you, Ms. Gilpes. You know, I'm looking at your other accomplishments and, you know, basically your position pays for itself for all those accomplishments here. And, you know, it's nice to see, I see your post. I'm a fan of your post that you've been sharing with our community. Quick question. I noticed that before we had the cultivated in LSL. That was something that I really enjoyed. And I don't know if you talked to your team, whether you were thinking about bringing that back.
Yes, thank you for remembering that. Yes, I love that. That section was really good. And grant writing is very time consuming, and there's other things that I like really pull me away from that. And the cultivated analysis, you know, it's also very time consuming. So sometimes I have to kind of pick and choose, but that is a great suggestion. I'll be discussing with the team to bring it back because I know it's something that is very appreciated. So thank you, Mr.
Yeah, because it highlights all of our staff from our classified folks, you know, that grown here in the LSL. It's good that we recognize our community members that. do a lot of
Yes,
positive
Mr.
work.
Mercado. And it's a very unique district in that regard. So yeah, appreciate that.
Thank you, Mr. Mercado. Trustee Ocampo, please.
Oh, yes. Well, yeah, I do want to thank you for all that money you brought in. It's pretty cool. I'm curious, the history walls, what, could you talk about that program?
Yes, that's another one of my desires to do. Mr. Koenig actually would like for us to have a wall of fame to recognize LSL alumni who have distinguished themselves in the world. And we've identified a couple of people so far. Hopefully we'll identify more. And this is a project that I've been asked to finish this year. So that will be one. Another idea that I hopefully can come to fruition is to have the walls for Ali Salis, you know, our oldest school. It has a lot of rich history. And perhaps when the new building, we can have something like that, a wall that just talks about the history of that school and the district. And I actually talked to the principal of Virginia Roca Barton to put some pictures of Miss Virginia Roca Barton there in the school and some of her trophies. Her family donated her trophies and recognitions to the district, and we have to find a place to put them. And Mr. Koenig said that the school would be a good place for that. So
Sounds great. Would it possibly also include maybe the history of Jesse Sanchez and the multipurpose rooms that were built, because of the passing of the bond and that sort of thing? I've always wondered how much, and I've never actually been to Sanchez Elementary. I don't recall actually being there in a long, long time. I mean, inside. And I've always wondered how much, like when you walk into the school, are there displays about the history of Jesse Sanchez in that elementary school?
there are not displays, but there's the picture of Jesse Sanchez is there prominently displayed. And also his picture, there's a huge banner of Mr. Sanchez in the cafeteria. It's his photo and his name in the multipurpose room.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'd always wondered what sort of, I don't know what the word is, memorabilia, I guess, is that the word, was given to him, because the school was named after him. So I always wondered what was there. So I think maybe I need to go in there and look at it, right? Anyway, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Trustee Ocampo. Trustee Jimenez?
Thank you for your information. I have a question. When on the issue of accomplishing the goals, you say that delivery information we using websites, social media, TV displays, and all calls, newsletters, and press release. On TV display, what kind of channels we are using?
That one, I was referring to the TV displays that we have at the district and some of the schools. If you walk in, they look like computer screens.
Oh, that's
Those are the ones I'm referring to. As part of my job, I also do coordinate some campaigns with television. We had been using KION and Telemundo, and I was suggested that we also explore Univision and other media. It's last year, because we were doing some advertising through company called Target River. They were the ones in charge of choosing which outlets to choose. And I don't think they chose that, but they were more targeted. They were more like phones and cable. So the message would be more targeted to the appropriate demographics that were going to watch it. So they were very effective in that way.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Jimenez. Trustee Garcia?
Thank you for all the work that you've done. I heard that you said that your group's very small. How big is your department? If you
My
know?
department is me, myself, and I. And
Okay.
and we also rely a lot on, like principals sometimes will send me a photo
Uh-huh.
or somebody in another department will produce a video. We were fortunate enough to be able to hire Target River to do a campaign. That was very helpful. That really, stepped that up a notch there. So the LSL Family Resource Centers, they produce quite a bit number of flyers. So, even though it's me, myself, and I always rely on other departments to take photos sometimes, send me photos or send me
Okay.
flyers or whatnot.
Yeah. Well, if anybody who's ever done any kind of editing for like videos, it takes a long time.
Editing
And-
videos takes
and
a very
not easy.
everything takes a very long time.
Yeah, so
Everything,
I'm wondering-
researching, putting
Yeah.
together things, it's very time consuming.
See, and okay, so our district doesn't. Okay, I'm from another district, right? So we use Parent Square a lot over there. Is this district not into Parent Square? How do you communicate? How does the average teacher communicate with their?
The average teacher, we have a kind of like a hodgepodge of
Like-
mediums. Some teachers use
Mind?
a Class Dojo.
Uh,
We do have a system to communicate with our parents, part of the Blackboard Connect system, part of the all calls. Every teacher can use that.
Oh, okay.
The teachers usually like Class Dojo because it's a two-way system. And so, but the district will be exploring something else. I know Parent Square has been mentioned to us quite a bit, so it's something that will be explored as part of the new website system.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. I just wanted to add that there's no doubt that you're a very hard worker, Claudia. You're always willing to help, even here in the boardroom, interpret when there's no interpreter, answering to parents, all the events. I was very touched by the fact that I think it was for were the new classes, was that at Loya? Or new kinder classes, you told me you had to go buy the balloons. So you're very, concerned with how LSL looks. And, that's part of your job, being the face of LSL. So I commend you for your hard work and thank you. Keep on going.
Thank you.
Thank you
Thank
for your
you.
presentation.
Thank you. Thank you.
I think you deserve an applause. Thank you. So we have a second presentation by school site principal of Steinbeck, Johnny Steinbeck School, Jennifer Ruiz. Welcome. Thank you.
Good evening, Board Member, Board President Gilpas, and good evening, Superintendent Koenig and members of the board. Yes, my name is Jennifer Ruiz, and I am excited to present to all of you some highlights that are taking place at Steinbeck Elementary. Here we have the school overview, but I'd just like to highlight some prominent demographics. This school year, we have an enrollment of 500 students at our site, of course, TK through sixth grade, and then 28% of our students are English learners, and 76% of our students are categorized as socioeconomically disadvantaged. Our instructional vision is displayed next, but I do want to highlight the heart of the work that we do at Steinbeck is to really engage our students in a high quality text that is complex, that our students are also participating in writing and discussions and really honing in those skills to build their confidence so that they are they are being able to excel in reading comprehension. Our Steinbeck goals for the 2023-2024 school year include increasing teacher collective efficacy through a structured PLC model. And this one's really important, really is at the top priority, because as research shows, when teachers have that belief in when teachers have that belief in a collective collaboration amongst one another, that's when we can see the highest growth of student achievement. We also are focusing on the increase of student attendance, as well as addressing chronic absenteeism. We are striving to increase student reclassification rate at our school site, as well as increase the language arts and math proficiency of a met at or exceeded level by 7% or higher this school year. Our current reality, this school year right now, we have 134 students that are English learners. And as mentioned before, one of our goals is to really increase the rate of student reclassification. And by doing so, I'll talk to you a little bit more about some of the supports that we have in place for this school year in making that the school be able to reach that goal. Our current reality for our SBAC data for the 2022-2023 year is reflected in my next slide. For language arts, our students, we had 32% of our students who were able to reach the met or exceeded standards. But this year, this school year, we are really striving to meet the district standard of 39% of our students or more, meeting that met or exceed standard for SBAC. And for math, this last school year, our data reflects that 23% of our students were able to meet or exceed those standards. This school year, we are striving to rise up to a 30% of all students or higher to be able to meet those standards in math. So in order to be able to meet those goals, we have professional development. And at Steinbach this year, we are focusing on some core areas that I've highlighted. We have some school site focus areas, but we also have district that is also supporting us with this professional development. And most recently, our teachers were able to complete the onboarding process for the Elevation professional development. And it is a platform where we house all of our data as well as have additional resources for instruction for our teachers to be able to access. We are also following our school-wide writing plan, which is highlighted in this slide as well. It's a plan that we have devised together as an instructional leadership team, where our teachers are also working in their PLCs to be able to create common formative assessments so that there's a lot of consistency across the grade levels. And when we have that collaboration, we're able to really have an deeper understanding of where our students are and what our next steps are going to be. At the heart of all of our instruction is the essential standards for student learning. So that is also a focus of professional development. And supporting us with that is also Be Glad professional training that our teachers began to just start up last school year, and we're continuing that again this school year. As well as supporting us in our writing plan, we have Step Up to Writing, which will continue to have ongoing professional development. So supporting us with all of the goals that we have for our academics, we have additional members that are here to collaborate with us at our school site. We have one site instructional coach who is housed at our school throughout the week. We also have an English language coach who supports us specifically with English language development, as well as the reclassification process for our English learners. Because we are a school site that has special education SDC classes, we are also collaborating with a special education coach. And that coach is able to specialize in specifically more the instructional side, supporting the teachers in making those accommodations for our students with special needs, as well as a special education TOSA. That teacher on special assignment is also there to support our team of teachers, admin, to be able to address the individual education plan for students. And then we also have that will be onboarding very soon our 2 intervention teachers that will help with instruction. The implementation of professional development on the social emotional learning side. This year, we are focusing on 2 areas of professional development, but we have additional programs as well. Our newest program that is provided to us by our district is the Mindful Life Project. We just completed our first initial professional development this week with the Mindful Life Project. And with that comes the mindful community. It's a whole class-based instruction that's going to be provided by a mindful life coach, as well as a Rise Up small group intervention program that we'll also be having at our school throughout the week. We also have the Mindful Life Project taking place over at our school during the after-school program. So they extend in the daytime as well as during our after-school extended hours. Let's see. And in addition to all of the social emotional learning, we also have more supports. Of course, we have our school counselor. I mentioned earlier that we're having 2 areas of focus for professional development in social emotional learning. So our second one is Quaver. It's a comprehensive online-based social emotional learning platform that is delivered. It supplies us with interactive lessons that are provided by the teacher, but also our school counselor. We have Sticks and Stones, Harmony at Home, as an additional counseling support, supporting students with trauma, Monterey County Behavioral Health, Family Resource Center, the cost process that our district goes through for referrals of students that are needing additional supports or academic supports, the PBIS program, and our school site is also engaging in the Alevo Recess program, which has been a really great addition to our team. Our students really love the Alevo Recess coaches. We're really happy to have them again this school year. They provide structured activities during recess time in which we see the students learning new games. They're learning to collaborate and play cooperative games with each other. And it's also helping with the behaviors that take place. It's shown to have a decrease in behaviors during recess. We're also engaging in Common Sense Media, which supports our students and our families with being able to have to know what it means to have good digital citizenship. And so these are just a couple of highlights of some of the extended community partners that we have at our school site. In the after school program, you'll see photos of the students working on art. One of our additional after school extended program partners is the Sweat 3 program. They lead us in physical education activities for our students. Forza Dance is another one. And then we just completed during our regular school day hours, the collaboration with Moto. And so they provide the bike rodeo, the bike safety presentation for our 5th grade students, and then the walk safe field trip and walk safe presentation for our 2nd grade students. So they learn good safe practices on how to get to school and how to leave school safely if they're walking or riding a bike. Another part of the important work that we do over at Steinbeck is increasing the parent engagement. So parent engagement is really going to be held through school-wide events. We just had our back to school night where we had a really great turnout. Students will be able to, we're encouraging our families to participate in the upcoming events that we'll have throughout the school year with our PBIS program. So supporting students and families by providing them with pony dollars through our PBIS event in hopes that we'll get more student or family participation in these events. We'll be hosting family literacy night this year, especially being able to be a fully open school campus across the district. We're really working on making sure that our school does feel welcoming and safe. And so again, coffee clutches provided both in the morning and we'll also be offering in the evening to see if that helps our parent engagement this school year. And also PTO, school site council award assemblies for our students so that families can be able to see our students shine in their accomplishments throughout the year. We are also a Blue Zone certified school, so we're really promoting healthier habits, healthier eating habits. Blue Zones at our school site, our project is to really increase our water consumption and really eliminate any kind of sugary drinks from the school as much as possible, with a huge emphasis on drinking water as your #1 choice of drink. Student attendance is another area that we are working on to improve. So as part of our plan for the school year, we have created an attendance team. And also we are working to finalize our incentive program, our incentive plan for student recognition and increasing that student attendance and decreasing the chronic absenteeism that was mentioned earlier as one of our goals. And so with that, I want to thank you for your time. And if you have any questions.
Thank you, Mrs. Fries. I'm going to start here with Mr. Jimenez. Do you have any comments or questions?
Oh, yes, I say thank you very much for your presentation. It was good. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Jimenez.
Mrs. Garcia?
Oh, thank you. It looks like you have a huge laundry list of impressive programs on your campus. And I wanted to commend you on that because that's not easy to do. You listed a bunch of different programs, hitting all types of things, even safety, because, the bike safety and the pedestrian safety for the 2nd grade, that's not always easy to bring on campus. And I'm not sure if all schools have that. But, you know, I think that's really impressive. Can you just talk to me a little bit more about that the mindful life coach? And I'm asking because I'm glad I heard that, uh, that there's actually a person doing the training and not, you know, the teacher having to deliver the lesson. So can you just talk to me a little bit more about that?
Yes, 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 definitely. And before I go in, I do thank you for the recognition, but I can't take all of it.
It's
I
a
have a
team.
wonderful partner behind me, Miss Lydia King, who is my assistant principal, and she has been excellent. So it's not just me, it's her as well. Thank
No,
you.
I appreciate that. It's a team effort.
Yes.
Yes.
And so speaking to the Mindful Life Project, yes, so it is being brought on by a coach, and that's really exciting. The coach will be able to come into the classroom. That coach is here throughout the week from the full school day till 4 o'clock. And they'll be providing 20 to 30-minute lessons within the classroom that focus on 7 skill areas for the students to learn. And they'll be broken up into small groups when they do the small mindfulness groups of about 8 students. And they'll be able to meet in those small groups twice a week at all of the different grade levels. And then it's also the little perk there for the teachers as well is that there's mindfulness that's provided at the end of the day. So if teachers want to go and practice the mindfulness skills as well, have a deep breather at the end of the day, that will be offered for them too.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mercado.
Thank you for the presentation. You mentioned one of the programs on SEL, Level. I never heard of that one. Can you expand on it a little bit more?
Yes, the Levo program is what we are currently receiving is the Recess Part program. And so we receive 4 coaches. We receive those coaches and they come in specifically during the recess times. And they work with students across all the grade levels. It's up to the students if they want to go and participate, but from TK all the way to the 6th grade, our students are on their own going and joining those activities. So it is 5 days a week during
Yeah,
recess time.
that's great. And how long is recess and lunchtime?
How long is recess and lunchtime? So we start our lunch from 11 to 1. Yeah, our lunch hour ends. And then we have our morning 15 minutes for each grade level. We have our Levo coaches on site for 3 hours. So we've been able to work together with our assistant principal and the Levo coaches to be able to coordinate that programming so that everybody is able to receive the coaches, including the TK and kinder students. So a little bit of scheduling coordination.
Okay, great, thank you. And my final question is, can you describe how you and your team review data and how do you use data to guide instruction?
Yes, so school-wide in our staff meetings, that's going to be an area that we definitely review the data in our staff meetings and then continue that review of data in our PLCs. So the professional learning communities, once we get those going district-wide, the teachers are reviewing that. But we also schedule it out specifically for the small, kind of like a mini session during our staff meetings so that the teachers can get together within that room, specifically looking at writing data or specifically looking at reading data. Reading is definitely an area of need, so that is a priority.
Thank you for your presentation.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mercado. Mr. Ocampo.
Yes, well, first, I just want to thank you, Jennifer, for coming and taking the time to present to us and kind of give us a little more insight as to what's happening at Steinbach. Yeah, that particular program, it's Elvo, I think. Elevo, yeah. How do you pronounce that?
A level.
Okay.
A level.
Well, it's sort of
Levo.
sticks
So.
in my mind because I was in the Maya Theater not too long ago, and Elevo has an advertisement that comes on the big screen, which is kind of cool. And I know that I believe not too long ago, we kind of okayed the contract with them, and it seems to me that they have hired a good number of local people to come and work, which is good, because obviously we need the job and we need the work. I was kind of reflecting on your offering coffee classes in the evening, which I think is cool because for the longest time I've actually wanted to attend a coffee class. I think I can right now. I
Yes,
don't
absolutely.
know if I
Please
can or
come
not.
see us.
But I'm not I've never been a morning person. So and I've been retired like 6 years, right? So coffee classes in the morning they don't work for me. So I do hope that if you do it in the afternoon, let me know the time because I would like to just go by and visit. I think it would be cool. It would be cool to do that. I'm also you were also talking about student attendance, um, which I think is great because in the whole state of California, attendance is a concern, as you know. Our numbers in most schools in the state of California are really super down. And of course, students have to be there if they're going to learn. So I'm curious, you were talking about that I think you said you had organized an attendance team of some type. How does that work?
So the attendance team that we've organized is made up of the administration, our attendance clerk, and currently right now, and then we're going to be onboarding. We have a family resource parent liaison, so they can also support us with attendance and as we look at that attendance data, when we pull up our reports, when teachers are reporting to us that there are certain students missing, and they will be able to support us in communicating with families if it need be to be a family home visit. That way we can have an understanding of how the schools can work together to support that family and get their student to school. And then it will also be made up, we're bringing on a couple of teachers that are interested in being on this team to be able to better plan and incentivize and recognize students for their daily attendance.
Sounds great. Good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. This arrangement of the schools taking turns to come to present to the board, and thank you for Mr. Koenig, in arranging all of that is sometimes it's hard for board members to go out to the schools because jobs, family, whatever. So we really appreciate when you take the time to put all of this information together, and it helps us to know your school, know you a little bit better and know us. And the questions are really because we want to know what's going on at your school, and you answered very well. So thank you so much for that. And we're here to serve you, your students. Thank you, girls, for coming and doing the flag salute. That was very nice. And your assistant principal. And we hope to see you again sometime soon.
Yes,
Okay?
thank you.
Thank you,
so
Mrs.
much.
Reese. Thank you. Okay, thank you. So moving on to item 3, public comment concerning items on the open session agenda and/or non-agenda items. A, the guidelines are, there will be a 2-minute limit for individuals and a 20-minute limit on total public comments. There is no ceding of one's time to other individuals. B, individuals wishing to address the Board of Trustees on open session agenda items and/or other items may do so at this time. And we're starting at 6:19 p.m. And we are and I'm calling them up in the order that I received these. Ms. Daniela Hernandez. Welcome.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Daniela Hernandez, and I'm here on behalf of the parents and students of Alisa Community School. So a lot of parents that attended back to school night last week were concerned with the current restroom situation that's happening right there. I was told I couldn't share a picture with you, so I'm going to try to describe it to you. I'm sure a lot of you have been out in the community in the fields. There is portable plastic potties. So these are the same ones that students at this school are having to use. I, as an adult, do not feel comfortable using those, so I do not feel it's right that students are having to use these on a daily basis, especially not children that are 5 years old and are barely like it's their first year at school and are learning to use the restroom. And Furthermore, these restrooms do not have great ventilation or flushing water. You step in there, I don't know if any of you have been inside of one, but you step in there for a minute and you're already starting to sweat, and days like today that's been really hot only make it worse. You know, you're in there trying to hold your breath from all the feces that accumulates inside. So I feel this is a safety matter that I want to ask that you prioritize so that we could get these students better restrooms sooner rather than later, because I was told there wasn't a time frame for how long they would be using these.
Thank you very much. Ms. Janie Lucas?
I'm just gonna move it because thing is really bothering me. Thank you. Good evening, trustee and board members. I attended this Saturday on the 19th, a special Kids Connect event. I was invited through somebody from the SELP organization. I never received anything from LSL district, which is very concerning because we should be, advising parents that these events are free and they're out there to help the community, help the parents with any needs that they have. This is a very important organization that provides different counseling, motivation, assistance for a lot of problems that children have. There was a total of 5 great speakers, including a pediatrician that was phenomenal. There was other people from the districts, but the pediatrician, I think I could say that he was one of the best speakers, to be honest. 20 tables that have provided great information to parents. That was part of the Special Connects. And then the DLAC meeting happened on last week, and it was a very good meeting. Diana Garcia gave us a presentation about her position, but I think most of us felt like we wanted to see a plan. What is her plan for the year and what is her goal for the year? That was very important to most of us. PBIS is an event that's coming, a national event that's coming in October. And I was told that none of the teachers are going to go. Only upper management is going. VPs are also going to be invited, but again, I wanted to see some teachers go out to the event, to be honest. And I think a lot of us as parents wanted to see those teachers go out there because they're the ones that are trying to make sure that that PBIS store is exactly what needs to be done, age appropriate. The last thing I wanted to talk about was the music enrichment. Both of my daughters are involved, and I wanted to congratulate Ms. Carranza for such a great program that that helped put together. But above all, I went to Creekside, and the attitude of that vice principal is exactly the attitude that I would like to see in every single campus.
Thank you so much. And if you have to say more, you can email us.
No.
Thank you very much. Thank you for ending on that positive note. Okay, so we'll go on into the next part of, I'm sorry. Thank you, Mr. Koenig. We have Carol Traylor.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Carol Traylor. I've been with the district for 15 years this month in food services. And I love my job because I love serving and I love children. So to me, it's a very rewarding job. I get to see the children, serve them and help them on a daily basis. It's wonderful for me. I would like to talk to you about a change in our work hours, which would benefit us greatly. Because when we come in, when the worker comes in an hour before me, our day is like a marathon. We hit the floor running all day long and until we take our breaks, and then we sit down exhausted. And so with that change, I feel that it would be a benefit to us because then the work is evenly distributed and it would help us in a great way all day long. And the major thing is serving the children. And I think in doing that, it would serve us and we'd be able to serve the children, do our work effectively and efficiently and in a timely manner, and not do a marathon that may be a fast run or walk. and that's doable. So thank you for hearing me tonight, and thank you for all that you do for this district. I look at the district and I see it as, just a vast community of many different people. And we're all working towards one goal, which is for the children. And that is a blessing to me. So thank you so much for hearing me in my comments tonight.
Thank you. Thank you very much. We're going to end public comment at 6:25. And going on to item C, still under public comment, is association comments, LSL Teachers Association. Mr. Pastoriza.
Good evening, President Gilpas and the board members, and also good evening to you, Mr. Koenig, and the cabinet. Well, ATA and the district reached an agreement last week. So what's happening right now is ATA is running the ratification vote. It will be completed by Tuesday next week, so we'll have an answer for you. So I'm going to also take a moment to recognize the hard work of the negotiation team for ATA. And thank you for listening. Let's just leave it at that. Thank you.
Thank you. California School Employees Association, Chapter 577, Keiko Nui.
Good evening, Ms. Gilpas, board members and cabinet. First, we have a member talking about changing hours. That's just good, but one thing that I just want to mention is I think every time when there is change or something, the department should come to the CSEA first, not make the employee sign papers without talking to us. So I want to, in the future, when there is change, first, the change I hope is not happening yet, but before they make an employee sign any paper, I think the department needs to talk with us. That's why we have EERC meetings, so we can discuss and we can make an agreement. So, and we agree that to change sometimes needs to be made to accommodate to serve our students, because the priority here is the student or the students. But the communication is very important, especially because we have Alma, we have, we have many places that we can work together with the district. We're not saying that we don't want to, but we need to take the steps the way it needs to be done. And another thing is we reach agreement with the district, and we vote, the membership vote, and we have a big turnout of members coming to vote, and that was wonderful. And I hope the board can approve tonight the agreement. So thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Okay, do we have anybody here from the United Substitute Teachers Union? No, we'll move on to the next item, board member superintendent reports. Can we start off with Mr. Mercado?
I have nothing to report today.
Thank you. Mr. Ocampo?
There you go. Just needed to report that my wife and I were scheduled to read this Friday, actually, at noon. We'll be visiting the classroom of Michelle Reyes at Fremont Elementary, room 28. So we're kind of excited about showing up and reading to the young students there, to the young children. I'm not sure if it's second grade. I think it might be. But it's kind of a nice way to end a Friday. It's sort of interesting that we first, Michelle is a new teacher. She just started working with us. And it's sort of interesting that we first met Michelle at Starbucks and sort of became friends, because Starbucks, as you know, has great customer service. And I've said this many times, the people that work there are required to know your name, so that when you come in, they say, "Hi, Mr. Ocampo, how are you doing? How's your day? Goodbye, nice of you to come." So, following the way she was trained to have great, what's the word, customer service skills and to treat us nice, we became friends. And so this is sort of an argument, for being nice and for good customer services. Because if you're nice and good customer services, then you get things like, for example, she's getting us visiting her classroom, reading to her students. So it's sort of an argument for that. So we are looking forward to that. The other thing that I wanted to report was we had a handyman that was working on our home not too long ago, a few weeks back, and the handyman had one of his children is a student at one of our schools, a special ed student, and the gentleman was having some problems with homelessness. So I did refer him to the one of our family resource centers. I talked to Irma Lopez, and she did. I think it's the name right, Irma Lopez, right? Yeah, okay, got that name. And she did a wonderful job working with him. I'm not quite sure what the services were because I know that the gentleman came to our house to thank us, and he spoke to my wife, and my wife gave me the information. So it's sort of secondhand. And I tried to call Irma to verify, but I couldn't get a hold of her. But as far as I can tell, I believe that they were given a voucher for a motel for 2 months, I believe. Our student was given clothing, and they were giving some food, some food supplies. So they are currently looking for a place to stay, and I hope they're able to find a place. But our resource center does great work, and this is an example of how they help one of our parents and one of our students. So kudos to Irma and to the resource center, and hope that the gentleman that we know that he'll be able to find some kind of housing that's more stable for him. So that's my report.
Thank you, Mr. Ocampo. Mr. Jimenez? Ms. Garcia?
Okay, yes, I do. I have a few things, just a few. I was able to attend the back to school night at Steinbeck, and I want to congratulate the team there. I was met by the principal, Miss Reese, who did our presentation this evening, and by Dr. Hernandez, and they walked me around the campus. I think I just missed Mr. Koenig because I think I was told you were there earlier, but I got to see a lot of parents. It was so exciting to see the kids. I don't know if it's excitement for the kids or they're scared, but they like to see their faces when they're actually the parents are meeting their teachers for the first time. So it's very nice to see that. And I saw a lot of good presentations. I was able to walk into the classrooms and yeah, it's a great event, and that was on Thursday. But prior to that, I did make an appointment to visit the after school program. So it was my pleasure to walk the campus of MLK and Jesse Sanchez in their after school program. I came about 5 o'clock, and I was able to see a lot of great things. And I want to shout out to the Edmo staff there and the teachers, the teacher leads, the classified staff, some of which stay till 6:30, right, till the last child leaves. So it's a team effort. And I saw a lot of great things, academic support. I saw music being taught. I saw dance and art. And I was only there an hour, so we're rushing through it. But I saw both campuses. And at the end, when they were dismissing the kids, I saw that they were doing the circle time. And I thought that was very engaging. So kind of a circle time, coming back and reflecting how your day went. And everybody had to do it. They walk them out, they put them in the middle of the campus, they sit them down, and everybody goes around in their circle and talks about how their day went. And so I really thought that was great. It's such a robust program. And yeah, shout out to all those involved in our after school programs. And my goal is to go to the other ones. I just made an appointment to see those. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Garcia. I don't have anything to report. Mr. Koenig?
I want to report that yesterday, the demolition of the buildings at Alice South Community School was complete. It'll take a few days to load the former school building into dump trucks and take it to a landfill, but we're making progress. We are going to put a portable bathroom, not a not more porta potties, but we are going to install a modular bathroom that can be used during the next year or year and a half during the time that we're rebuilding the LSL Community School. Secondly, we got the bids for the Buckhorn construction. The Buckhorn project is the short name for the Early Childhood Education Center, which is going to be located close to the Oscar F. Loya Elementary School. And the bids are pretty good. We did have a bid protest, but we think we'll be able to get through that, and we'll be bringing the contract with the winning contractor, whether it was the apparent low bidder or one of the other 5 bidders, at the September 13th Board of Trustees meeting. And that's all I've got.
If I could,
Thank you so.
just a comment on that. Mr. Koenig, yeah, I did drive by the Alice Elementary School, and it was impressive to see vacant land everywhere. The building totally gone. And just imagining what that new front office is going to look like. Just impressive. So really looking forward to it. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Okay, going on to number 5, consent agenda. Approve, ratify contracts, MOUs, agreements, grants, proposals, conferences, workshops, and field trips. This is an action item, so I need a motion, please.
First.
Mr. Jimenez,
Second.
and seconded by Mr. Mercado. Any comments, questions, concerns? No? Okay. Sure.
Sorry.
Yes,
Okay,
no,
okay.
definitely,
Well, no, I
yes.
just, I think the positive behavior interventions and supports, I don't recall who's actually attending that, and I don't have it in front of me. Is that the one in October? Or is that the one like far away? The one in
Which letter
the
is it?
F,
X
or is it
is here.
G? Okay, then so G is the one that's in Chicago. Okay. Does anybody remember who's going to that? I just don't remember off the top of my head. I don't have papers in front of me, but I mean, yeah, usually at a school site, there's usually like a team that runs the PBIS, and it usually does involve administrators and teachers. But I just wanted to.
So our APs do lead the PBIS at their schools. So I know there's I know there was one that was TBD, and then there was one with names. But Mr. Koenig seems to have it.
Yeah,
open.
Ms. Garcia is going, Ms. Guidi.
Not me. I'm not, another
No,
Garcia.
okay.
Don't look
The
at me.
director of PPS is going. There are 2 other administrators from the PPS department. Then we have 4 assistant principals from Sanchez, Fremont, Barton, and Loya, and finally one of the counselors, Travis Jones from Steinbeck. So 8 total.
Was that it, Ms. Garcia? Okay. Thank you. I'm gonna go back and take advantage of the fact that we have Ms. Rosa Carranza here and just congratulate you. And it's also on the agenda for the Danzantes del Quinto Sol agreement with the Tonatiuh. So I know they're expanding it. It's gonna cost a little more because they're expanding their services. But it's such a cultural, that and our mariachi and the band is so cultural for our district that I wanted to thank you. And it was very impressive to see that these dancers were the top performers, 7,000 views. I think it was on YouTube, over 7,000. So that's you're to be congratulated for that. Thank you. And it's a great program, and just it's Ramon Silva who's also involved in that. And he's great at what he does there. So that's awesome. Congratulations and thank you so much. Okay, so we're gonna go on to, we do have a motion on the floor by Mr. Jimenez, a second by Mr. Mercado. If there are no more questions, comments, or concerns, I'll call for the vote. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries 5-0. So going on to item number 6, business services. AB 1200, California Schools Association. This is an action item. May I get a motion, please?
I'll make the motion.
Mr. Mercado? Mrs. Garcia seconds the motion. Any comments, questions, concerns? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? No, thank you. Motion carries 5-0. B, under business services, salary schedule change, classified CSEA, action item. I need a motion, please.
First.
Is that you, Ms. Garcia?
No.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I just, because of the mask, I can hear. Sorry about that. Mr. Jimenez? A second, please. Ms. Garcia, thank you so much. Any comments, questions, concerns by the board? No? So we'll call for the vote. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? No, motion carries. Thank you very much. Moving on to item 7, educational services. This is a public hearing, sufficiency of materials, curriculum, and instruction. I'll open it at 6:41. Comments? Okay. Close. I'm gonna call it at 6:42. Okay, item B, under educational services, resolution 2324-04, sufficiency of materials, curriculum and instruction. This is an action item, so I do need a motion, please.
First.
Mr. Jimenez is on a roll here. Mr. Jimenez makes the first. Do I have a second? Thank you so much, Ms. Garcia. Comments, questions, concerns?
No.
All those in favor, please say aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Moving on to item 8, human resources. This is an action item. Tentative agreement, California School Employees Association, Chapter 577, and the Alisal Union School District.
So moved.
Mr. Ocampo makes
Second.
the first motion, the second by Mr. Jimenez. Questions, comments, concerns by board members? Mr. Ocampo?
Just a comment. I just want to say that that I'm glad that this is before us, and I'm pretty sure it's going to pass. You know, I can't see it not passing. You know, I remember when I was a high school counselor, I think the biggest raise I ever got was 11%, and that really helped a lot. So I'm sure that this 10% is going to help. You know, with the inflation, and I'm sure the increase in the medical benefits will also help, you know, our CSEA, our classified people. And, you know, sometimes it's a little difficult to try to balance, you know, the budget, the money that we have, the physical needs of the district, and the obvious physical needs of our employees. But, you know, we do our best, and we're going to continue to do our best. Also would like to thank our staff for negotiating the agreement that we're going to consider. And also would like to thank the CSEA negotiating team for their input also into making this agreement happen. So those are my comments.
Thank you, Mr. Ocampo. So we do have a motion by Mr. Ocampo and a second by Mr. Jimenez. If there are no more questions or comments, I'll call for the vote. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries on a vote of 5-0. Still under human resources, item B, job description, first reading, lead teacher. Any comments from the board? Questions? Okay, then we'll go ahead and move on to item 9, future agenda items. We have a couple of school presentations coming up and some business department presentations. Is there anything else the board would like to add at this time? If not, you can always call Mr. Koenig and do that also. Okay. So we'll go on to 10, public comments, closed session agenda items only. A, guidelines, there will be a 2-minute limit for individuals on public comment and a 20-minute limit on total public comments. There is no ceding of one's time to other individuals. Individuals wishing to address the Board of Trustees in closed session, agenda items may do so at this time, starting at 6:45. Do we have anybody that wants to approach the board? No? So we'll close at 6:46 and adjourn to closed session at 6:46. In 10 minutes, it'll be 6:50. Thank you so much, Ms. Garcia. You must be a math teacher. Thank you so much.